From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this evening, the news center has learned the identity of the boy killed last week in what Army officials have called an on-post incident.
3-year-old Aiden Allroan was the son of Army Sergeant Nathaniel Allroan and his spouse, whose name remains unreleased at this time. U.S. Army officials have confirmed to the news center that the spouse was not in the hospital in critical condition. They say she has received numerous donations and offers for help, including lodging, while the on-post home shared with her husband is under investigation as the scene of the incident. Sergeant Allroan remains in jail at Fairbanks Correctional Center while the Criminal Investigations Division continues to collect evidence and canvass the post for more witnesses.
Governor Sean Parnell was in Fairbanks today to speak at the Disabled American Veterans Convention that's going on at the Westmark Fairbanks Hotel. The governor said it's their 25th convention and that he wanted to give his thanks for the work they do and have done. He said he couldn't stay in Fairbanks long because he had to get back to Juneau for the time remaining in this year's legislative session. He had 3 main goals for this year's session.
One is creating more educational opportunity for our kids. 2 is making progress on that gas line. And 3 is making that unfunded pension liability, making that sustainable in terms of our payments of it, paying down the debt, and then lowering our fixed annual costs. So those 3 items, making some good progress on, great progress on the gas line, great progress on more education opportunity. We're having a bit of a battle on the unfunded pension liability, but we'll be able to work that out in the end too.
The Steves Volunteer Fire Department responded to a single-story house fire in the Goldstream Valley this morning. When they arrived, nobody was at home and the floor was burning, causing extensive interior damage. Firefighters on the scene estimate about $50,000 worth of damage inside the home. While the cause of the fire was unclear, the chief says they received more fire calls at the beginning of spring because of improper stove maintenance through the winter. He had suggestions for reducing fire risks as the weather warms up.
Being diligent on keeping wood stoves clean and keeping your property clean. Good, property maintenance on where you store items. Good access for us, our emergency responders. We always like to see driveways being cleared. Make it so our access is easy. We're not hindered to be able to help residents and whatever their problem might be.
Additional charges were filed today in Fairbanks District Court against a teen reportedly involved in a shooting. 16-year-old Chester Fields was indicted on the charges that stem from a shooting and robbery at the Wedgwood Manor Hotel in February. Fields was arraigned today in court in front of Judge Bethany Harbison with his lawyer Bob Noreen, who presented as well. Additional charges included misconduct involving weapons and minor consuming alcohol. These are in addition to the felony charges of robbery in the first degree as well as burglary and assault charges he faces already. Fields is being tried as an adult with his alleged accomplice, 21-year-old Isaiah Cross.
The state of Alaska has established a number of benefits for disabled veterans in recognition of the sacrifice they made for the security of the country. The special benefits for disabled veterans are designed to allow them to live their life with dignity and respect. Today and Saturday at the Westmark Hotel, a coalition of disabled veterans are holding their annual convention, marking their 25th year for the association. The DAV group statewide makes it their annual goal each year to ensure that all disabled veterans and military families are cared for and all their medical, financial, and spiritual needs are addressed.
There are several strong programs. Each chapter have basically their own programs. And one of our chapters do have a program where we actually have a trust fund where we go out in extra to help homeless, disabled veterans, veterans from the domiciliary, homeless veterans who come in out of the cold to try to get back into society.
A motivational speaker from Florida has been making the rounds here in Fairbanks. Joanna Kortik, who started Joanna International, was invited by the University of Alaska Fairbanks and held a workshop and lecture on campus about going beyond ordinary and thinking outside of the box. She spoke last night at the Senior Center to members of the Seroptimus International of Fairbanks. She said their philosophy of women helping women paralleled hers. She was also invited to speak at Fort Wainwright about her book, which is titled The 5 Keys to Becoming an Unstoppable Warrior Mom.
Fort Wainwright, they invited me to speak about my book, to military spouses through the AES. So there were men and women there. So instead of just saying, we were talking about becoming an unstoppable warrior mom, it's unstoppable warrior parent, to help moms just balance life, take care of themselves, so that they can go out and be a better role model and mother for their children and to their partners.
I'll have to check that out, warrior moms, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You could be a warrior dad? Are you a warrior dad?
Always.
I'm a warrior mom, I think.
Sure.
Okay. When we come back, the Interior Alaska Center for Nonviolent Living will host a Take Back the Night on Saturday.
And the League of Women Voters will celebrate its 50th anniversary. Those stories are next. Please stay with us.
And welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Tomorrow evening, folks with the Interior Alaska Center for Nonviolent Living will be hosting their annual Take Back the Night. The event will be held at the Chief David Salmon Tribal Hall from 4 to 6:30 p.m. We have more now on that in this report. Take Back the Night is held each year to raise awareness and support for both men and women who are dealing with sexual abuse, assault, and domestic violence. Organizers say this event is particularly important to raise awareness because of the statistics we see in the state.
Domestic violence and sexual assault rates in our state are some of the highest in the nation. And it's important for the community to be aware of what's going on in our community, and hopefully by bringing awareness to it, we can cut down on some of those numbers.
The Interior Alaska Center for Nonviolent Living will be hosting the event, and it does many events throughout the years to raise awareness not only for the cause, but for the center itself.
We are a shelter. We service both men and women. We house women here in the shelter. We put men up in hotels. And the people who stay here are either victims of domestic violence or sexual assault. And they come here when they don't have any place else to go, when they're unsafe, when they're in a relationship where they need to get out and they need some place to go.
Spreading the word is what the event is all about. It's meant to shed light on a subject and problem that's growing.
It's an awareness event. And so what we do is we have people who come in and speak, and they talk about things pertaining to sexual assault. And not just in negative aspect, positive. We're going to have somebody come in and talk about what youth are doing out of Tanana and some of the great things that they have been doing.
This is Stephanie Woodard reporting.
Fairbanks Light Opera Theater's Rent has been receiving good reviews, and this weekend it is the last it's running. Rent is a story about a year in the life of people exploring their youth and sexuality. The award-winning play covers topics such as drug abuse, death, AIDS, and love, and the actors have worked for months to perfect the well-known songs and characters they will be portraying. Last evening, Flott paired with the Fairbanks Food Bank for a food drive, and the play will continue tonight through Sunday at the West Valley High School Theater.
It's just, won a Pulitzer Prize for writing. Most musicals never get that kind of thing. And it's not because it was cachet to give prizes for people writing about AIDS or any of that thing. This story is fantastic. So it's powerful that way, but it's also powerful in songs that make you will remember.
And the play, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, being staged by the Fairbanks Drama Association, was held over for extra performances, and the last one will be tomorrow, Saturday, April the 12th.
The League of Women Voters of the Tanana Valley is inviting the public to celebrate their 50th anniversary celebration on Saturday. The League's mission is to encourage active citizen participation in the government. The League started 50 years ago and soon after made several publications that helped provide useful voter information to the citizens living in the interior. The celebration will be held this Saturday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the Fountainhead Antique Auto Museum.
The UAF College of Natural Science and Mathematics will present the Science Potpourri in the Reichert Building at UAF on Saturday. The event runs from noon until 3. CNSM's scientists and students put on a science festival for everyone each year. The young and young at heart can explore how the world works through explosions, eruptions, and all sorts of messy fun. Some of the activities and displays will include the portable planetarium, free ice cream, made scientifically of course, dinosaur bones and fossils, slime making, shows featuring giant explosions, awesome, and real lava, and much more.
I got to get in on that.
Yeah, explosion's good.
All right, well, Michael Ives is up next with sports while Joe is on assignment at the Arctic Man. That's pretty cool.
That's right. They have a preview of a deciding Game 5 for the Fairbanks Ice Dogs. Also, a pair of Nanook hockey players get All-American awards.
Wow. Cool.
That's awesome. That and more with sports after the break.
Welcome back, Alaska. Michael Ives here with your Friday sports. Joe Cook is on assignment in the Hoodoo Mountains for the 2014 Arctic Man. And we're going to start with a little preview of Saturday night's deciding Game 5 between the Kenai River Brown Bears and your Fairbanks Ice Dogs. Some number crunching for a Game 5 that will most likely come down to defense for the Ice Dogs. In the 2 games the Dogs have lost, they've allowed 3 or more goals. When Kenai scores 2 or less, Fairbanks has won. The barometer of this series has been on special teams. The team that has scored a power play goal has also won every game. Kenai is 2-8 on power plays in the series, while Fairbanks is 2 for 11. The Ice Dogs will also need to finish off and convert on as many chances as possible. There have been a number of near misses and shots that almost made it that could have been goals for your NAHL regular season champions. The defensemen have been huge for Fairbanks, led by Doogie Lagrone. He's been at +1 in each of the games, and he has 2 assists in 2 games as well. Fellow defensemen Wyatt Egge and Johnny Mueller have scored twice in the series as well. For Kenai, Chris Oldham righted some wrongs after allowing 6 or more goals 3 times to Fairbanks. His 28 saves in Game 4 resulted in the big Kenai win. The big guns have showed up for Kenai as well. The NAHL point leader Alex Butcher has 5 points and is +3 in the series. Albin Carlson, the second leading scorer for the Brown Bears, has 4 points. Last season, the Ice Dogs won this same matchup in 5 games, winning that 5th game 3-2 at the Big Dipper. And still no confirmation on whether Taylor Munson or Kyle Lee will be available for Saturday's game due to injuries they've suffered in this series. The puck drops at 7:30 on Saturday night in the Big Dipper Ice Arena. Now, the UAF cross-country team had all freshmen a year ago. Now those women are sophomores, so more freshmen are coming into the fold. Yesterday, the cross-country team announced the signing of Grace Weller from Petersburg, Alaska. Weller was a 4-sport athlete at Petersburg, playing basketball, swimming, track and field, and cross-country. Weller was a part of the 2010 and 2013 regional champion Viking team. Her best finish was 11th at state. She was a Juneau Empire All-Academic pick for basketball and was an All-Little Norway tournament selection as well. Weller wants to major in fisheries and minor in marine biology. Cool. She joins Chandra Smith of Emmett, Idaho. Smith signed earlier this year. Smith was the 2012 and 2013 Runner of the Year for Emmett High School. She finished 5th in the 3,200 meters at state with a lifetime best finish of 11 minutes and 52 seconds. She plans to major in mechanical engineering. Now, sticking with the Alaska Nanooks, big news today as 2 players from the 2013-2014 hockey team were named All-Americans. Forward Cody Kunick and defensiveman Colton Parayko were both named CCM Division I second-team All-Americans today. Kunick, now a member of the NHL's Tampa Bay Lightning, was the WCHA Player of the Year. Parayko established himself as one of the top defenders in the league as only a sophomore last year. They become the 6th and 7th Nanook Hockey All-Americans, joining a short list with UAF legends Chad Johnson, Tyler Eckford, Dean Fedorchuk, Steve Moria, and Doug DeSorcy. And there are some weekend events for interior sport fans to get into in this second weekend of April. Check out the Arctic Bowl Bowling Alley for the Bowl for Kids' Sake event. It's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday. All the money raised from this event goes to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Fairbanks. Saturday at 11:30 up on the hill is the 20th annual Beat Beethoven 5K race outside of the Patty Center. It's $45 to register tomorrow if you haven't already signed up. You have to finish the 5K before the end of Beethoven's 5th Symphony if you want to get a free voucher for a Fairbanks Symphony Orchestra performance later in the summer. Also, if conditions permit, the high school track and field athletes will have a mini-meet at North Pole High School with track and field events scheduled to start at 11 a.m. Of course, the nightcap, we've got a win or go home, Game 5 for all the marbles in the Midwest Divisional semifinal series between the Kenai River Brown Bears and your Fairbanks Ice Dogs. The puck drops at 7:30, and the winner of that game will get to face either the Wenatchee Wild or the Minnesota Wilderness in the Midwest Division Finals. And finally, we have the play of the week for you guys. This week's play of the week comes from the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, and despite Kenai River's 3-2 overtime win last Saturday night in Game 2 of the playoff series, here's another crazy goal from Wyatt Egge. His third goal of the year is the second from the neutral zone against Kenai this year. 3 of Egge's 5 total goals have come against the Brown Bears this season. Talk about long distance on that one. Wow. To pick the next play of the week, watch the I-5 Interior's Top 5 Plays on Monday with Joe Cook during the Sports Weekend Recap. And now Joe will be back tomorrow with a story from this year's Arctic Man on Saturday and the Monday Sportscast. You're not going to want to miss that. And that'll do it for Sports Tonight. For more KTVF Sports, find us on Twitter, YouTube, our mobile app, or as always, you can visit webcenter11.com. Stick around for Mike Schultz and your full weather forecast coming up next, and I'll catch you guys with some more sports tomorrow.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you, and we have got a great weekend coming our way. Temperatures could be over the 50-degree mark come Sunday, and we're looking at that to continue for the next couple of days. No precipitation expected, just mainly cloudy skies possibly on Sunday. Now, our photograph for tonight, this is a great one. This was sent in by Emily Dre-Doppel, and she got 4 moose and 2 cats. That's got to be a big number win there, I'll tell you that. Look at the size of those cats, but also 4 moose. However, how often have you seen 4 moose around at the same time? That's pretty good. Again, as you have, always, if you have a photograph to send it to photos at ktvf11.com. Numbers look like this. Out at the airport, 28 degrees after a high of 34. Low last night, 2 degrees below zero. There's your record high and record low. Sunrise and sunset, 14 hours and 53 minutes of daylight. We'll go over 15 hours this weekend. That's nice to pass along. Our satellite picture, again, showing some clouds moving in from the southwest, but they're not going to make it in our direction. They're all going to be shunted off to the west, and they're looking at some precipitation there, but the rest of the state looking pretty good. In fact, right now, looking at the rest of the state, we have, again, mainly cloudy skies over at Ketchikan, but sunshine everywhere else you look, and even up and down the west coast, things are looking pretty good. Partly cloudy skies at Nome, 4 degrees below zero at Barrow, and Nome, or I say Fort Yukon, 27 degrees above. Lower 48 weather. Nice weather once again over the western half of the country. Showers continuing across the central and northern plains and across the Gulf Coast states. On our satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of a frontal system moving through, but nothing really heavy expected with that, and nothing out to the west, so things look pretty good, all because of the jet stream. And boy, Australia got clobbered yesterday. Winds close to 145 miles an hour in the northeast part of Australia, Queensland, Australia, with a cyclone called Eta. Okay, back to Alaska, back to the lower 48 for next week. You can see the jet stream taking a big dive way down to the south. And with that, of course, bringing that cold air down, clashing with the humid air, you're looking for thunderstorms breaking out. So that'll be happening once again over the deep south. Back to Alaska for tomorrow. Sunny skies for Barrow and Fort Yukon. Snow is possible in the Nome area by the afternoon and evening hours. Here in the interior, lots of sunshine and warmer. At Fairbanks and Delta Junction, some winds are possible in the Healy area. Over the southeastern sections, sunny skies for Juneau and Ketchikan, but out to the southwest, we'll have a little mixed bag of weather. Wind and rain for Cold Bay, increasing clouds for Kodiak, and sunny skies for Bethel. And over the south central regions, it looks like plenty of sunshine for Valdez and Anchorage, with maybe some showers in the Homer area. All right, here's your forecast for tonight, and it's good forecast. Clear skies. Real quickly, our weather watch. Weather fact, in 1989, Sacramento, California, soared to 96 degrees. That was a hot day. Okay, again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. And again, a reminder, in 2 weeks, we'll be visiting with the kids from Crawford Elementary School. Now, here's your forecast for tonight. Clear skies, not as cold. Auroras are possible. It says about a 4 on the Aurora scale, so we'll keep our eyes out. 1 degree, the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast, sunny skies, even warmer temperatures, 45 degrees. But look at Sunday. Sunday, 50 degrees, the same for Monday and Tuesday. And temperatures around 46 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday, and no precipitation in the forecast at all. Overnight lows will also be very nice, and 25 to 26 degrees for the overnight lows. That is fantastic. It's going to be a great weekend, guys. Really good.
Fantabulous. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, we'll wrap up on that. Thank you, Mike. That is all for this broadcast. We'll see you at 11 from all of us here. Have a great night.
Good night.